Act 60. Banker paying demand draft whereon endorsement is forged. When a bill payable to order on demand is drawn on a banker, and the banker on whom it is drawn pays the bill in good faith, and in the ordinary course of business, it is not incumbent on the banker to show that the endorsement of the payee or any subsequent endorsement was made by or under the authority of the person whose endorsement it purports to be. And the banker is deemed to have paid the bill in due course, although such endorsement has been forged or made without authority. Act 61. Acceptor, the holder at maturity. When the acceptor of a bill is or becomes the holder of it at or after its maturity, in his own right, his bill or the bill is discharged. Act 62. Express waiver. When the holder of a bill at or after its maturity absolutely and unconditionally renounces his right against the acceptor, the bill is discharged. The renunciation must be in writing unless the bill is delivered up to the acceptor. Section 2. The liabilities of any part to a bill may in like manner be renounced by the holder before, at, or after its maturity. But nothing in this section shall affect the rights of a holder in due course without notice of the renunciation. Act 63. Cancellation. Section 1. Where a bill is intentionally canceled by the holder or his agent, and the cancellation is apparent thereon, the bill is discharged. Section 2. In like manner, any part liable on a bill may be discharged by the intentional cancellation of his signature by the holder or his agent. In such case, any endorser who would have had a right to recourse against the party whose signature is canceled is also discharged. Section 3. A cancellation made unintentionally or under a mistake or without the authority of the holder is inoperative. But where a bill or any signature thereon appears to have been canceled, the burden of proof lies on the party who alleges that the cancellation was made unintentionally or under a mistake or without authority. Act 64. Alteration of a bill. Section 1. Where a bill or acceptance is materially altered without the assent of all parties liable on the bill is avoided except as against a party who has himself made, authorized, or assented to the alteration, and subsequent endorsers. Provided that where a bill has been materially altered, but the alteration is not apparent, and the bill is in the hands of a holder in due course, such holder may avail himself of the bill as if it had not been altered, and may enforce payment of it according to its original tenor. Section 2. In particular, the following alterations are material, namely, any alterations of the date, the sum payable, the time of payment, the place of payment, and where a bill has been accepted generally, the addition of a place of payment without the acceptor's assent, acceptance and payment for honor. Act 65. Acceptance for honor, supra protest. Section 1. Where a bill of exchange has been protested for dishonor by non-acceptance or protested for better security and is not overdue, any person not being a party already liable thereon may, with the consent of the holder, intervene and accept the bill, supra protest, for the honor of any party liable thereon, as for the honor of the person of whose account the bill is drawn. Section 2. A bill may be accepted for honor for part only of the sum for which it is drawn. Section 3. An acceptance for honor supra protest in order to be valid must A, be written on the bill and indicate that it is an acceptance for honor. B, be signed by the acceptor for honor. Section 4, where an acceptance for honor does not expressly state for whose honor it is made, it is deemed to be an acceptance of the honor of the drawer. Section 5, where a bill payable after sight is accepted for honor, its maturity is calculated from the date of the noting for non-acceptance and not from the date of the acceptance for honor. Act 66, liability of acceptor for honor. Section 1, the acceptor for honor of a bill, by accepting it, engages that he will, on due presentment, pay the bill according to the tenor of his acceptance, if it is not paid by the drawee, provided it has been duly presented for payment and protested for non-payment, and that he receives notice of these facts. Section 2, the acceptor for honor is liable to the holder and to all parties to the bill subsequent to the party for whose honor he has accepted. Act 67, presentment to acceptor for honor. Section 1, where a dishonored bill has been accepted for honor supra protest or contains a reference in case of need, it must be protested for non-payment before it is presented for payment to the acceptor for honor or referee in case of need. Section 2, where the address of the acceptor for honor is in the same place where the bill is protested for non-payment, the bill must be presented to him not later than the day following its maturity. And where the address of the acceptor for honor is in some place other than the place where it was protested for non-payment, the bill must be forwarded not later than the day following its maturity for presentation to him. Section 3, delay in presentment or non-presentment is excused by any circumstance which would excuse delay in presentment for payment or non-presentment for payment. Section 4, when a bill of exchange is dishonored by the acceptor for honor, it must be protested for non-payment by him. Act 68, payment for honor, supra protest. Section 1, where a bill has been protested for non-payment, any person may intervene and pay it supra protest for the honor of any party liable thereon, or for the honor of the person for whose account the bill is drawn. Section 2, where two or more persons offer to pay a bill for the honor or different parties, the person whose payment will discharge most parties to the bill shall have the preference. Section 3, payment for honor, supra protest, in order to operate as such and not as a mere voluntary payment, must be attested by a notarial act of honor, which may be appended to the protest or form an extension of it. Section 4, the notarial act of honor must be founded on a declaration made by the payer for honor or his agent in that behalf, declaring his intention to pay the bill for honor and for whose honor he pays. Section 5, where a bill has been paid for honor, all parties subsequent to the party for whose honor it is paid are discharged, but the payer for honor is subrogated for and succeeds to both rights and duties of the holder as regards the party for whose honor he pays, and all parties liable to the party. Section 6, the payer for honor, on paying to the holder the amount of the bill and the notarial expenses incidental to his dishonor, is entitled to receive both the bill itself and the protest, if the holder do not on demand deliver them up he shall be liable to the payer for honor and damages. Section 7. Where the holder of a bill refuses to receive payment super protest, he shall lose his right of recourse against any party who would have been discharged by such payment.